Have you ever heard of the Miss Stone affair? Probably not. Well, let me tell you a story about a woman. An American woman who got lost in the mountains of Macedonia. Not just any mountains, but the same mountains where the legendary Macedonian warrior Alexander the Great once fought against the Persians. And no, this isn't a Hollywood movie plot. It's real history. It all happened in the early 20th century when the Turks still ruled over Macedonia. But here's the twist. The year is 1901. That's a tough one. The Turks weren't too happy about having missionaries around. Now enter Miss Ellen Stone, a brave American woman who wasn't afraid of anything. She was on a mission to help people, and she did so for 24 years in the Ottoman Empire, despite the tensions with the local authorities. But why am I telling you all this? Let me explain. In those days, Macedonia was like a powder keg ready to explode. The people were fed up with the Turks, and secret organizations were popping up everywhere, planning to overthrow the Ottoman Empire and take over the country. These groups, known as komitadzi, were kind of like superheroes with a cause. They were ready to do anything to get rid of the Turks, and we're talking about some pretty extreme stuff. Meanwhile, these secret societies needed cash, and I mean a lot of it. But where to get all that money? That's when someone had a brilliant idea. Why not kidnap a rich foreigner and ask for a ransom? So, they hatched a plan to kidnap Ellen Stone, who was as stubborn as an ox and as hard to crack as a walnut. I won't spoil the suspense for you. On September 3rd, 1901, as Miss Stone and her companions were on their way to they found themselves surrounded by komitadjis in the mountains. They were on the run and things didn't look good. But wait, there's more. It turns out that two famous komitadzi leaders, Yane Sandanski and Hristo Chernopiv, were behind the kidnapping. These guys were like Robin Hood and Little John, except with dirks instead of bows and arrows. As they led Miss Stone through the mountains, they made sure to avoid the Turks at all costs. And that wasn't easy, considering that the Ottoman Empire had eyes and ears everywhere. But the komitadzi knew these mountains like the back of their hands, and they managed to keep Miss Stone hidden for months. Now, you might be wondering, what did Miss Stone do during those months? Well, she basically became a member of the... She slept in caves, crossed rivers, and even helped carry supplies. Plus, she witnessed firsthand how the komitadzi lived, fought, and breathed. She saw their courage, determination, and the harsh conditions they endured. As the days went by, the komitadzi leaders realized that they had a bigger problem on their hands. They needed money, and I'm talking about a lot of it, like 25,000 Turkish gold pounds. To give you an idea, that's roughly equivalent to $1 million today. And where were they going to get that kind of money? Not easy, believe me. So they decided to negotiate with the Americans and demanded a ransom of 25,000 gold pounds for Miss Stoney's release. The Americans weren't thrilled, but they were desperate to get Miss Stone back safely. After 6 long months of negotiations, they finally agreed to pay the ransom. But here's the thing, they didn't have that much cash on hand, so they turned to the Ottoman authorities for help. The Turks weren't exactly thrilled about giving the money to the komitadzi, but they had no choice if they wanted Miss Stone to be released alive. Finally, the day came when Miss Stone was set free. She stepped out of the mountains and into the waiting arms of her fellow missionaries. As she looked back at those mountains, she knew that she would never forget what she had experienced or the people who had shown her the true meaning of courage and resilience. So remember the Miss Stone affair when you think of Macedonia? It's not just a story of bravery and adventure, but a testament to the human spirit's indomitable will to survive and overcome even the most challenging circumstances. And who knows, maybe you'll discover that Macedonia has even more fascinating stories to tell.